Hello students, welcome to Programming with C and C++ online classes. And in the last class, we have started about the arrays concept. Array introduction part is also over, and also array declaration, array initialization, everything is over. Now, in this today's session, I would like to explain about the characteristics of an array. After that, how many types of arrays we have, so that concept also later we will discuss. And now at this time I would like to explain about the characteristics of an array. Now let us start our session. Okay, characteristics of arrays in C programming. So characteristics are nothing but what is the behavior of array. What is the behavior of array? The array, how many ways it is behaving and how many ways we are using. So all those things it will reflect by the characteristics. Now the first point is what? An array holds elements. An array holds elements that have same data type. That have same data type. For example, now I am opening developer C++ window. Just wait, it is opening. Yeah, new window I have opened in the developer C++ window. So here, now I am creating one character array. Character array, nothing but ch. So here, if I create like this is the data type, this is the array name, this is the size, array size. So in between these two brackets, we need to give the array size. So here I am giving 5. 5 is the size. Character array size is 5. Nothing but if you give the 5 in between these two brackets along with ch variable, this ch variable, it can store the values only 5 elements. Those 5 elements also related to character data type. Same data type values it can store in the character variable. So like that, if you want to create number array also, you can use the number data type, nothing but int data type, float, double. You can create array by using any one data type, no problem. Either it is predefined primitive data type or user defined data type. It depends on our requirement in the project. But here, for your understanding purpose, I have created character array. Character is the data type, ch is the variable, and this is the array size. Now this ch array, it can store the values only 5 elements. Those 5 elements also related to only single letters, alphabetic letters, because of this is character data type now. So that's why depending on this character data type, the ch variable, it can store the values only alphabets, not integers, not numbers, and not floating point values. Because of the character data types allows us to store in the ch variable only alphabet numbers, alphabet characters. So here A is one character and B is one character. Same type of values same type of items it can store inside the character variable. A, B, C, D, single characters it can support, okay? Single characters. So that is the by default nature of arrays. Arrays, if you create any array with any data type, it can support only that data type related elements. That data type related items only it can store in that array variable. So here we have given 5 is the number, nothing but the 5 number is array size. So the ch variable can store the values only 5 items. Here this is one item, and this is second item, and this is third item, this is fourth item, this is fifth item. So if you want to store one more value, then this array will not accept to store that extra value, because of here we are given the fixed value. If you mention the size in between these two brackets, so it is constant value. While running time, we don't have any chance to change this value, right? So that's why while developing time, whatever the value we have given, so that same value depends on that same value, we have to store the items inside that variable. So here I have created character variable. So now I want to create int values array. So here int I is the int, number is the data type. Here int is data type, number is number related variable. So here now I want to store 6 numbers in this number array. But which type of values it can support to store inside the number variable? Only numbers, because of here the related data type is what, Chinna? Int. So compulsory here depends on this data type, we need to store the values inside the number data type. So those items also only 6 numbers, because of here we have mentioned the size, that's why. So here 10 is the first item, 20 is the second item, 50 is the third item, and 60 is the fourth item, 80 is the fifth item, and 90 is the sixth item. Nothing but 6 numbers we can store inside of this number variable array. Like that we have to create the arrays. So if you create the float related data type array, float x equal to, here how many values we need to store? 4 values. So that is also fraction point it can allows, because of the data type is what? Float. Float data type is used to what purpose? Actually, if you have any fraction part values, nothing but 1.5, 2.8, 3.9, so like that after point, if you want to maintain any fraction part values, so in that case we have to use the data type like float data type, double data type. So that related fraction point data types we can use in our C programming while creating an arrays. Okay. So here array initialization is same. This is array declaration. So if you assign the values along with this declaration, so this entire process is called array initialization, right? So if you assign the values for this character variable by using these brackets, this complete process is going on in the single line. Na? This complete process we have to write in the single line. So this complete line process is called, declaration is called array declaration along with array initialization also, right? So here this is character type array, and this is int type array, and this is float type array. So inside 10.26, 10.23, 5.76, 9.87 and 5.64. So here it is accepting floating point values, real numbers. So that floating point values also we are storing inside of the x variable. Here the size is what? 4, nothing but 4 values it can support. So here this complete value is 1, and this complete second value is 2. This is third, this is 4. Like that 4 elements with along with fraction part values also we are storing inside of the x variable. How it is accepting this fraction part also here? By giving the by using the float data type here, the float data type can accept this type of floating point values. So like that we have to create the different types of arrays by using different kinds of data types, right? In C programming language, either built-in data types or user-defined data types we can use. If you want to create an array by using primitive data types or by using user-defined data types, we can simply use, no problem. This is also one of the characteristics. And next one is what? Array elements are stored in subsequent memory locations. For example, here character array I have created now. Character array, character ch5 is the size, and a, b, c, d, e, these are the items, nothing but elements I have stored inside of this ch variable. So while executing time, how it will allocate the memory? Now I am opening Paint window, carefully observe. Now I am drawing one diagram here. Here character ch 5 is the memory's array size is equal to opening bracket and closing bracket inside these values. I am copying these values and I am pasting here. So if you write the statement in our program, then while executing time, the character data type, first it will create the memory with the 5 bytes of memory because of the array we have created with the 5 bytes. So this is 5 bytes of memory. 5 bytes of memory it has created by using character data type. Character data type. For which variable? Ch variable purpose. Ch variable purpose. So inside this memory, these elements it can store in the subsequent memory locations. Nothing but contiguous memory locations. This is 1, this is 2nd, this is 3rd, this is 4th, this is 5th, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here, and first element can store inside this first box, second element can store and here, third element can store in this box, fourth element can store in this box, fifth element in this box, and this memory is not there, this one, because of we have created the array only with 5 elements. So that's why 5 elements memory, 5 bytes of memory it has allocated while executing that. So like that the memory it can create like this side by side memory locations. So that is called as subsequent memory location. Next, two-dimensional array elements are stored row by row or subsequent memory locations. And in the two-dimensional array, how the memory will allocate, I will explain in the types of array. Okay, then only you can understand about that. And at this time, you better to understand. So two-dimensional array is internally used rows and columns. The first dimension is to use the to store the elements in the row wise, and second dimension is what? Two-dimensional array means 2 dimensions it is maintaining. The first one is rows and second one is columns. The data can store it in the rows and columns format. And array name represents the address of the starting element. Array size should be mentioned in the declaration. Just here we have declared the size while declaring time. The array size is also we are giving here, right? So that is the meaning of that line. And array size must be constant expression and not a variable. Array size must be constant expression and not a variable. So here, if while developing time, if you give this array size and while executing time, it is constantly fixed. We can't change at runtime this array size, right? So that's why these 5 points are related to characteristics of arrays, right? And now we have to start. How many types of arrays in C programming language? There are 3 types of arrays. There are 3 types of arrays. What are they? One-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional arrays, multi-dimensional arrays. Now let us understand first one-dimensional array. So a list of item can be given one variable. A list of item can be given one variable name using only one subscript, and such a variable is called single subscripted variable. Single subscripted variable. So in one-dimensional array, just you can create like this. Int is the data type, number is the variable, and use square brackets to create an array. Inside I am giving 6 is the size. Array size is 6. If you write the statement like this, here how many brackets we have? One opening and one closing. Nothing but one bracket we have, one square bracket. One pair of square bracket we have. So this is called, here we are giving only one dimension. Nothing but here passing only one value inside of this subscript operator. So the variable contain this array is only one column. This array is only one column and multiple rows we have. So this is called a one-dimensional array. One-dimensional array. Because of in this place, in one-dimensional array, we just create the one dimension here for the one variable purpose. This is one variable. Here one subscript operator we are using nothing but inside only one value we can configure the size of memory. So if you write the statement like this by using one subscript operator, this type of arrays are called, this type of array is called one-dimensional array, because of here we are maintaining only one dimension. So if you create the array, now I am creating one more array with same name, and here two subscript operators I am using, nothing but 2, and one more bracket I am using. So if you write the statement like this, the number variable, it is called a two-dimensional array because of two sizes we are mentioning. The first one is rows and second one is columns. The first dimension is equal to rows and second dimension is equal to columns. So nothing but it is a matrix format. I think in the 10th class you have learned about the matrix in the mathematics. So like that, here also two-dimensional array, multi-dimensional or works like a matrices format. Okay. The first dimension is equal to rows and second dimension is equal to columns. Right. So like that. And same array I am creating with one more number variable. Here 2 rows I want in this array, 3 columns I want, and again one more dimension. So this is array of arrays. So nothing but 2 rows and 3 columns. Like this is up to here two-dimensional array. Up to here two-dimensional array. But what it is in the multi-dimensional array? And this one is two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array. And here this is multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array. Because of here one subscript operator we are using, here two subscript operators we are using, here 3 subscript operators we are using. So this is called one-dimensional array, this is called two-dimensional array, this is called multi-dimensional array. So here up to here this is equal to two-dimensional array. Again one more extra dimension we have given here. Just carefully observe here which is which I have selected. You please concentrate on that number only. And up to here and here, these two are similarly work like a two-dimensional array. But here one extra dimension we have given. So nothing but array of arrays it can create. Array of arrays it can create. For example, in two-dimensional array, now I am mentioning like this: 2 rows and 3 columns. 3 columns. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 is the, so 3 columns. First row completed. Next second row 4, 5, 6. So like that 2 rows, 3 columns. Now the condition has satisfied now, which we have given the dimension for this variable. 2 dimensions we have given, 2 rows and 3 columns. 2 rows completed and 3 columns also we have completed now. These are the assumed elements. Don't confuse. These are assumed elements. If you want to add your own numbers, then you can add, okay, while storing time. Here, now I am initializing these variables with this data. This is called a two-dimensional array. So here, this one is same now. In multi-dimension is also same, work like a two-dimensional array. But here one extra dimension is we have given. That means array of arrays we have to create. Nothing but now I want this type of sets in 2 sets. I want this type of array sets. How many sets you want? 2 sets I want, like that. So nothing but same data set I want to create one more also with the same data, like that. So here 2 sets we have created now. So that is the meaning of multi-dimensional array. So like that in multi-dimensional array, if you want to create array of arrays, array of arrays, array of arrays, it's depending on our project. If you want to create multi-dimensional array by using different kinds of dimensions, then you can obviously create, no problem. So this is the difference between one-dimensional array and multi-dimensional, two-dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. So in the single array, one-dimensional array, here only one subscript operator we have now. So here 6 elements I have, 6 size I have given. Nothing but the array can create like this. The array can create like this, side by side, side by side. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay, 5 subsequent cells it has created now. So like that, the array can create like this. Carefully observe. A list of items can be given one variable. So in this single dimensional array, nothing but one dimensional array, we can store single values. In 6 items we can store inside of that one dimensional array. Here only one subscript operator we can use. Such variable is called single subscripted variable or one dimensional array. One dimensional array. So array creation syntax is same. Data type and variable name, data type and variable name, and this is size. Example, float height 50. So 50 same heights it can store inside of this height variable. 50 items it can allow. In this group also, in this names also, here 10 items it can store inside of these variables, but same type of values. So if you want to store either combination of letters and also numbers, that is not sufficient to store in the arrays, because of arrays can raise the error while developing time, while executing time, the arrays will raise the problem. It will show the error in the error window. The type specifies the type of element that will be contained in array, such as int, float or character, and the size indicates the maximum number of elements that can be stored inside the array. Carefully observe here. Just now I told you, if you want to create int type array, then int values it can store. If you want to create float type array, then the array can stores only float values. If you want to create any character type array, it can stores, it can support to store the values like characters only. And this is also index. So if you create one array, just now I am opening one Excel window. So here ch variable I have created, number variable I have created with the type of int data type. The size is 5. Increasing the font, just wait, and the size I am increasing 18 up to, right. This is int data type and this is number variable. Here I am assigning the values like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 5 we have given, so 5 elements it can support only. So this is array initialization. So this is Excel now, so that's why remaining elements it is not showing. Just wait. Now I am changing the format, then it will show every data. Complete data it will show on the screen. Text I am taking this one. Right. So carefully observe. If you write the statement in our C program, then the memory will allocate like this. And How many items? 5 items now. So nothing but 5 cells it can occupy by the int data type. By the int data type, it can occupy the memory while executing time. So 5 bytes of memory, because of 5 we have given now. So here for the ch variable purpose, it can, sorry, for the number variable purpose, it can allocate that memory while executing. How much memory? 5 bytes of memory. 5 bytes of memory. So here elements, how it can store? The first cell it can store first element, second it can store second element, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is contiguous memory locations. It can be used internally while executing the program. So immediately the int data type will allocate the memory like this for this variable. So which is the memory allocated for this variable inside the data what we have configured. So the same data, each item wise it can store into the single memory segment. So how you can access this one? By using index locations. So here the index can starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So like that, 0 to 4. So in the 0th place 10 value we have, in the first place 20 we have, in the second place 3rd we have, in the 3rd place 40 we have, in the 4th place 50 is the data we have. So this is index format. So if you want to access these elements by using these indexes, we can access these elements, right? So that is the meaning of this diagram. Number 0, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So in the number 0, 35 we have stored like 10, 1, 20, 40, 3, 70, 14, 4, 4, 19. So like that, the memory values it can store like this. By using, the data can store in the memory segments. So if you want to access that memory segments to get that values inside of that memory, so here indexes are very useful. So without index we can't access that elements. So that's why array indexes very important concept in the arrays. While accessing time it is very useful. Next, initialization of one-dimensional array. After an array is declared, its elements must be initialized. If you declare the array, if you assign the values, when it will create the memory? While executing time only, not while compiling time. While executing time, the memory will allocate and the memory also will initialize. While writing time, it will not get any memory. While compilation time is also, it will not get any memory. While executing time, it will get the memory because of each and every C program. Not only C program, nowadays each and every programming language, while executing time, RAM memory it can be used internally. Because of that is temporary memory. After execution completion, what are the objects it has created? That objects automatically it will deleted by itself. But if you use the hard disk memory, nothing but primary memory, secondary memory, if you use the while executing time, if you use the secondary memory, the memory after execution completion, the memory will not release by itself. So that's why every C program or any programming language while executing time, the memory will allocate inside of the RAM memory. Temporary memory it can be used internally. So that is the advantage of memories. The general form of initialization of array. So how you can create an array, one-dimensional array? Now I am creating one-dimensional array. One-dimensional array. Why? First I am creating the document in the documentation section. One-dimensional array. One-dimensional array demo. So this is practical method. All of you please carefully observe on the screen. And header file required now, #include stdio.h, and next one main function. Here opening bracket and closing bracket. Now I am creating the int number equal to memory size, and here this is declaration. This is only declaration. This is only array declaration. And after that, how you can initialize the data with that variable number? 0th index. 0th index, what element you need to store in that? What element? Nothing but now I want to store in the 0th place 10 is the element, like that number 1 equal to 20, number equal to third index I want to store 30 is the element, sorry, second index. Index starts with 0, number third in the third index I want to store 40 elements, and one more, because of 5 we have given, so only 5 memory locations it will allocate. 50 is the value. So here these are the items, this is the data, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is the data, this is the index numbers. So in the 0th index 10 value I want to store, in the first index 20 value I want to store. This is single dimensional array, okay, one dimensional array, because of here only one subscript operator we are using along with that array size, right? So now this is called assignment. This is called assignment. In the 0th position I have assigned with the 10 value. In the one index position I have assigned 20 is the value. So like that. And now I want to initialize declaration and as well as data also in the single line. This is one method. This is one method. Now I want to use one more method to assign the values. To assign the values. And now equal to, here opening bracket and closing bracket, and this one is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So if you write the statement like this, this entire process is called array declaration and array initialization also, because of the data is also initializer with that array, so that's why. So this entire process is called array declaration and initialization. Initialization, right? Now I want to print these all values. Now I want to print these all values. For that, for every element purpose, each and every element purpose, you have to write one printf statement. No? So that is very burden process. So to avoid this type of burden process, for loop we have to use. Here I equal to 1 or I equal to 0. Okay. So first one variable also we need to declare for the I variable purpose. This is starting point now. So I initializer with 0 and I less than or equal num dot length. Num dot length, because of this length is used to what purpose? It is collecting the how many elements we have. So nothing but 5 elements we have. That 5 elements can, this complete statement it can return the element number, nothing but I less than 5. Okay. So after that I want to increment the I value. I want to increment the I value. Now I am writing one printf statement. Here %d, one new line character, %d I am using, because of it is accessing the index. Now I am saving this one, array dot c. Now I am compiling this one. Remember, length is something not structure or union. Okay, length function we have to use, I think. Again it is showing same now. How you can collect the length from that? length in array. Length can be used for int array, double array, string array, only length, right? Array dot length. LENGTH. Length is something not a structure or union. In C. How to determine length of an array? Prices. Wait. Length of array, total size of array. How to find the length? Okay, it is lagging the time. So here instead of we have to give 5 because of we know now size about the size of array, so that's why I just given like this. So now I am saving this one again. Now I am compiling. Okay, successfully compiled. 0 1 2 3 4 like that. If you want to access any array elements, then use the for loop here. Okay, so this I is accessing the index. So in the first iteration I is equal to 0 na. In the 0th position, what is the value we have? 10 value we have. That 10 value it will print. Again it will increment by the 1. Then I value becomes 2. I value becomes 1 because of this 0 na previously. Now 0 plus 1 is what? 1 is the number. I value has changed na. So in the second place what? Which is the value we have? 20. In the second iteration, the I is pointing to first index, and after that second index, after that third index, after that fourth index. So like that for every iteration, which is the data we have in that subsequent memory location, that place data it will print while iterations are going on time. Okay, so for every iteration one item it will print on the screen like this. So here 4 we have na 0 to 4, so it is printing this one na. So here instead of I you need to give number, then the number values it can accept. Now I am compiling again. Now I am executing. It is printing memory address. It is printing memory address. Wait. 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here we have to pass the value in between this subscription number array na, so that's why. So if it is accessing first element, then it will print the array like that. So carefully observe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 we have na. So whatever the elements we have configured in this array, while for every iteration one element it will print by incrementing the I value. First it is the I is pointing to first element in the first index, 0th index, because of 0 na. So the 0 is pointing to here in the 0 index place, 10 is the value we have. So for the first iteration 10 value it will print. So after that the statement has printed, again I value incremented, then I 0 plus 1 is what? 1. So again the second iteration I value becomes changed, nothing but I value instead of 0 it has changed with 1. So in the first index what we have, 20 is the data element. So like that 20, 30, 40, for every iteration one step it will move, and one step in that value which is we have, that value it will print on the console. So here one dimensional array completed like this. And two dimensional array, just now I told you now before, 2 dimensions we have, nothing but 2 subscript operators we have to use. Here x and y we have now. X is equal to row size and y is equal to column size. In 2 dimensional array it is accepting the values in rows and columns. It is accept to store. It is accept to store in the rows and columns wise. So first subscript operator is indicating to row number, row size. Second subscript operator indicating with column size. Column size. This is rows and this is column size. Here 3, 4 we have now. This is the example. For the 2 dimensional array we have given, this is 3 rows and this is 4 columns. Nothing but if you assign the data like this, and this is 2 dimensional array demo. Here hash include stdio.h void main open bracket and closing bracket. Inside I am declaring the int number, one dimension, nothing but 2 rows I want, 2 rows 3 columns. Okay, 2 rows 3 columns. Now I am initializing a value also. So if you want to initialize 2 rows 3 columns now, so nothing but again one more bracket you have to use. So here 10, 20, 30, this is 3 columns. This one is 3 columns. Now I want to, one row completed now. Now I want to add one more row. So like that if you give 40, 50, 60. So this is 2 rows and 3 columns. So like that the data we have to initialize like this. The data we have to initialize like this. Just one comma separator you need to mention. And instead of writing this one, there is one more choice also. Number 2, 3. 2 rows, 3 columns. Here up to now same. But now I am assigning the values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. If you want to assign, if you want to initialize the data like this, it is also no problem. You can obviously assign like this. But it is recommended format. This is not recommended format. But compiler can understand. If you give the values like this while executing time, then compiler can understand. But here, this is for our understanding and compiler also understand. This format is recommended format. This is not recommendable format. Okay? So that's why. Now I am removing this one. Accessing 2-dimensional arrays. How you can access? Here also 0th index we have to use. 0th index. So same logic I am writing. First, here array declaration completed. 2 rows and 3 columns. Now for accessing purpose I want to create 2 variables, int I comma j. The I is indicating with rows and j is indicating with columns. So for your understanding purpose, row R I am giving and C's I am giving. Rows and columns I have created. That variables I have created. First I want to use the rows for accessing. For that one for loop I am writing R equal to 0. R equal to 0 colon or less than two rows or plus or plus. Now inside columns, second index, and C equal to 0, C less than or wait, C less than sorry, 3 columns now, 3 times iteration here required, and for row wise 2 iterations required. 2 rows we have now, so 2 iterations it required. In the columns 3 column iterations it required. So that's why C less than 3, C plus plus. And first now I want to print this one, print f now A percentile D. Here we have to replace now num percentile D and percentile D equal to 1 percentile D. Equal to 1 percentile D, comma R comma C comma number C, this is row R, okay, semicolon. Now I am saving, now I am compiling. Why it is showing error? Expected or before, sorry, here semicolon we forgot. This is semicolon, end of the line. Now I am saving this one. Now I am compiling. Yeah, successfully compiled. So now it is showing like that now. So here simply we have to use the new line character. For every iteration it will show in the new line. Carefully observe. In the 0th index 10 we have now. So like this is the index numbers. 0 row place, and this is row, this is column size. These inside brackets, whatever the values we have, these are index numbers. In the row and the column, 0th row and 0th column, 10 is the value. 0th row, first number column, 20 is the value. 0th row, second column, 30 is the value. Nothing but first row completed. So here second row we have started. First row index and 0 is the 40 value. So like that. That is memory addresses. So nothing but the memory locations can spared like this. In multi-dimensional array, in C programming language supports multi-dimensional arrays also. Multi-dimensional array contain similarly two-dimensional array also. Multi-dimensional array is also work like a similar to two-dimensional array, but extra one dimension we have. So nothing but in two-dimensional array, one set of values it can generate, it is generating. So if you want to generate that set of values in multiple sets, so that is the multi-dimensional array. So nothing but one more for loop it will we have to use inside this one. So that is called multi-dimensional array. So if you know the one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array, you have understood about the multi-dimensional array also. So nothing but one more for loop we have to write inside. So this complete statements will execute. Again one more for loop. So like that, array of arrays. If you want to create, then you can create obviously. Okay, right. So now arrays concept we have completed in this session. In the next class, I will explain about the strings concept. Thank you very much. Now I am closing this session.